The Senate of Canada has to issue an apology and pay an Ottawa man a penalty because the buttons on their water fountains weren't bilingual. Do you know how to work a water fountain? You know, it's there, it's in front of you. You walk up, you push the button, water comes out. We've all been seeing these since we first went into kindergarten, and yet somehow this Ottawa man, Michel Thibodeau, maybe he just didn't know how they worked, or maybe he's a bit of a busybody that likes to take people to court. If you like Thibodeau, maybe you say he's a man of principle, standing up for the rights of francophones. The problem in this case results from the fact that some Senate offices in the east block of the Parliament buildings had water fountains that just had the word push on them. I don't know about you, but quite frankly, I've never looked to see whether it says push or poussez, whether I'm in English Canada or French Canada. I just know how a water fountain works. But Thibodeau, a man of principle, according to some, is someone who likes to take the government to court. He likes to take government institutions to court. In addition to this ruling that has just come out, he has filed 22 different complaints against Air Canada. Everything from complaining about the sign saying exit not being as big in French as it is in English, to the fact that he and his wife were served a Sprite instead of a 7-Up on a flight between Toronto and Atlanta.
But Sprite has the edge over you for that fight. Blah, blah.
Yeah, that was an actual case that had to go all the way to the Supreme Court, where thankfully he lost. But he's got other cases going through the court system. At some point, do we have to just say that this guy is someone going out of his way to look for trouble? I would say so. I understand the issue of linguistic duality. I understand being a linguistic minority as someone who is an Anglophone that doesn't speak a lot of French, that used to live in Quebec. But guess what? I still knew how water fountains worked when I lived in Quebec. I still knew what an exit was. I still knew how my seatbelt on the plane worked. And I didn't care whether I got a Sprite or a 7-Up. I definitely wasn't taking government institutions to court over this. And if you want to talk about linguistic minorities being oppressed, look no further than how Anglophones are treated in the province of Quebec. Michel Thibodeau is bringing forward case after case. He's a federal bureaucrat who lives in Ontario on the Ottawa side of the National Capital Region. Is this guy a man of principle or someone who is just being a nuisance to the courts and the Official Languages Commissioner? I can tell you this much, I don't think the Official Languages Commissioner would put up with this from an Anglophone or support them in going forward on court cases. But that is on the Official Languages Commissioner. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or comment on Facebook.